Let's do our 1 minute prayer and the floor is open. Consciously invoke your mother and father's blessings. Apart from Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, they are also our first teachers. Let us seek the blessings of our Kula Devata. We may or may not know her name, but let us connect with her heart of heart. Some of us may know the name, some of us could have visited. Again, connect with the local deity, just the Grama Devata, whichever location you have joined from, has its own energy which is protecting that place or in charge of that place. Seek the blessings of your personal deity, the Ishta Devata. Let us invoke the grace of Ganapati, who is intricately connected with today's hero, who is Veda Vyasa. And then, with a few blinks, you can open your eyes. Okay. Good. This is called now grace is being shuffled. Good. People are joining.
Hi,
It should be, yeah, Namaste, Anjali. Should we directly get into the session? Then at the end, can we come back to each of you? Is it okay? Yeah. Like how in India, we find it difficult to allocate one meaning or single word meaning for any word. In our tradition, any day you take, you cannot say it is celebrated only for that. In organized religions, you can still say Bakrid, Christmas, these celebrations are specific, and that day, no other saint or no other activity will be part of that religion because they're all starting 1500, 2000 years. In our system, there is no date, starting date, correct? So today, auspicious for innumerable reasons, but as much as data we have, it all starts with Veda Vyasa. It is considered, today is considered his birthday. So Veda means the body of knowledge. Vyasa means the one who compiles. If someone is compiling information on Vastu Shastra, you can call them Vastu Vyasa also. If someone is compiling on leadership, you can call them Leadership Vyasa also. So Vyasa is basically a title. Vyapti means what? Vya means humongous. So the one who compiles data is called Vyasa. Which field they are compiling comes as their prefix. Now, what happens? This is a common name. The reason why we remember is generally like homes, no? Somehow the last child garners lot of attention. Correct, Chanchal? Ivangi, that Rashi also knows. Some of the people I know, actually. Lydia is obviously the youngest there. So natural that Veda Vyasa is garnering lot of attention because he is the last of the Vyasas, which we have seen. Okay. Because in every time, for example, when they started the compiling the Cambridge Oxford dictionaries some hundreds of years before, there was someone who started that and who is continuing to update that. Correct? So the editors keep changing. Are we getting this point? But Veda Vyasa, why he is given lot of importance is post him, rarely we've discovered new hymns which could be compiled. Okay, so that is why he has a extraordinary place in the entire Indic wisdom space. Now, his original name is when he was born dark in an island. So Krishna means dark. Dvaipayana, the one who is dark skinned and born in an island. Today, if someone says like that, we will say body shaming and all that. It is true, it's okay. We were discussing. We are okay with the truth as it is. We don't need anybody's approval to feel anything. That is called maturity, right? So this is the identification. Because when a child is born in India, immediately you don't give a name. There are 16 samskaras which are there. So when this child acquired the name, it was given the name Badarayana. So we have three names. Where he was born, when he was born, how he was. To have that identification, Krishna Dvaipayana, when a name was given to him, it is Badarayana. Based on his profession, he is called Vedavyasa. Very simple way to understand. Now, the second reason why today is very important. Around this date, the Chaturmasya, 4 months, where the great ones stayed in a place because mostly it will be windy or rainy season across India these times. So, what the great ones did, and the people who want to seek inwards, what is my life, what I have to do, they stopped traveling outside, start to travel inside. Because what you are is not available outside. Who you are is available within you, inside. So this Chaturmasya is starting around this time. And the Uttarayana, Dakshinayana transition will be happening. The 6 months, sun is not traveling north. Earth is tilting. Sun is there only. But we feel like that, no? Sun rises in the east, we will say. Sun is always in the same place. Earth is revolving and rotating. You are getting seasons, climate changes, sun rising, setting, everything. Like that, the transit, the movement again towards the south begins this time. So Dakshinayana, Uttara means north, no? That way we have to understand the year has 6 months. That split starts. It is a dark journey, meaning it's an inward journey. So it has to be like that. You will see the extraordinary Navaratris coming now. Sharadiya Navaratri. Sharad Ritu mein, which Navaratri comes, it is Sharadiya Navaratri will come, which is the most well-known Navaratris we have. Just now it concluded the Varahi or Gupta Navaratri. Now that concludes in this Guru Poornima. So this is a very, very auspicious occasion. So how we can broadly classify, because of the Earth's rotation, axis, everything, January 15th has happened. If you want to have roughly two parts in your life, you could consider January to June for extraordinary external work and begin your conscious internal work from July to December or July 15th to December 15th. Approximately, you can see the Panchang starting from Guru Purnima till Shankaranti. You can do a lot of inner work, and our festivities and the rituals which are in our tradition will enable that inner journey. Like how we have day and night, the light beings called Devas, for them this is night. Okay. Now, one of the texts which is oft used in our tradition is the Gita, the Bhagavad Gita text. It is embedded in Mahabharata. So, our tradition tells that it is Mahaganapati himself who sat down and wrote it. First, this Mahabharata text had only 18,000 verses and it used to be called as Jaya. Jaya means victory. And in Sanskrita Sanketa code word, the word Jaya equates to 18. So they have somehow made some mechanisms to lock it. Then over a period of time, many incidents were added and it's around 1 lakh and above verses are there. Now, when this has to be transcribed, because the era of transcription started, medical transcription started recently, right? Our scriptural transcription started from the time of Veda Vyasa. Why he had to do this is because the simple question I generally ask people, after the advent of mobile phone, how many of you even remember your second phone number? If at all you have a second phone number, we don't remember. Earlier, when we had landline numbers, we used to remember landline number, fax, our friend, our neighbor's number. So many we were remembering those days. Moment there is a dependency on a tool outside of us, memory will naturally fade. I'm not taking a hit at AI and all that. Utilize it like how you use the mobile. But the more you utilize it, our memory, our retention, our ability to think will reduce. And this is the way life flows in the tradition. So 5,000 years before itself, if someone amidst us is around, maybe let us assume they witnessed the Mahabharata war, like Ashwatthama, Anjaneya, they are all alive today. They are Chiranjeevis. They would be looking at us thinking, oh, these guys need so much tools to remember themselves. 6 o'clock, I have to get up, you set up an alarm. 12 o'clock, I have to do this. So much to do, so much reminders we need today, right? But everything they worked out from here because they were dependent on them. What happened? The Yuga Dharma, Vedavyasa clearly saw that people's sensory pulls were drawing them outside. People were more pursuing Arthakama, sometimes sacrificing Dharma also. So naturally, the senses are outward. Constantly, mind is also outward behind them. So naturally, that inward looking and the memory, everything came down. So the simple example is that, no, we may remember our still my old landline numbers, I remember. You ask a child to say number, nothing. They'll only have name. You are seeing the difference? In our own life, in the last 10 years, our memory has come down. For 5,000 years before somebody has realized this is going to happen. So they collected those, whatever was available at that time, compiled and kept it for us. So this is the great work which he has done. Now, general misconception is Veda is four. So what we say in the tradition, Veda is one classified as four. There is a big difference we have to understand. Veda is one classified as four. What is one proof we have today is when people in the research they will say Rig Vedic period, Yajurveda period, Samaveda period. They are free to have that. We have freedom of speech. But Vashishta Ganapati Muni, contemporary of Bhagavan Ramana, who gave the title Bhagavan to Ramana, one day could see a Rigvedic mantra. That means what? They are called seers who can see that. Mantra drashtas. They are called seers. It shows each and every individual, if they could meditate on a common cause, they could end up getting a sound. That is not hallucination. When you present it to the great ones, they can clearly tell you whether this hymn, whatever revelation you got, is from which text. So, living amidst us, Vashishta Ganapati Muni, I mean, two generations before us, has the proof that Rigvedic mantra can even now be downloaded. Modern day is downloading knowledge is possible. So we cannot have classification of ages. These are all controversial statements I am recording. I am not bothered about anything because you should have anubhava. Then only you will know. Then applications of what application you did, then based on that, the classifications can be done. The reason is what is created only you can download, right? So this is one important thing as at least people who are pursuing knowledge should understand. Veda is one classified as four. That's it. And based on that, all the traditions have come up. And this we call it as the uh, 14 Vidyasthanas and 4 Dharmasthanas. But because they also give us jnana, we call them the 18 sources of knowledge, based on which everything is built, actually. Everything else is a derivation from it. So naturally, the 4 classifications of Veda are taken as the first 4 in the 18. Okay. Then, how did they maintain the uh, purity of it, and they are handing it over till now? So when we go and study phonetics in dictionary, there are marks like somebody has to be admitted.
Many of want to join, but they are not able to open in mail also.
Acha. So can we just share that Zoom ID and the thing? I'm just pausing the recording for. So when you have a body of knowledge, how to preserve that purity? So most of us, when I was studying in school and college, Ren and Martin used to be the grammar. So you have no what is conjunction, interjection, preposition, all that stuff you learn from that. Similarly, to maintain the purity of the language, why it is important? Because they did this maintenance of purity, we fortunately do not have dialect or accent when you are chanting Samskrita. It doesn't matter which part of globe you are, a ka is a ka. A ka is a ka. From where you have to pronounce also they have mentioned. So why we should break our head? So this is the sound. And what they did, the Tantra side, which is not straight away part of this 18 Vidyasthanas, that's an application. Tantra is an application of knowledge. Safe application of knowledge is Tantra. It's like your cookbook or any user manual you get with any gadget. That is called a Tantra. That is a manual is called Tantra. There, they again took these 51 alphabets and mapped it to our chakras. How they applied this sound, because they meditated and saw where these sounds are sitting well in the body. So today, coaches, therapists, and healers say, no, when you say this, I'm feeling this in this part of my body, that part of my body, all that they say. I tell them, be careful, don't carry it. It is theirs, give it back and come. Okay. You are understanding, right? So in Tantra, they applied this knowledge and discovered, oh, these sounds are within us also. I'm saying this sound outside, but these sounds can be mapped inside also. That is the application side. Now, Rig Veda, Yajur, Sama, and Atharvana. These are the four classifications. How did they maintain the purity of it? The first thing is sound, right? Basically, the main differentiation between Samskrita and other languages is sound. That sound is called Shiksha. We will share with you introduction to Indian tradition, volume one, and one more we are having that aspect also of Lord Dattatreya. These both resources we will share with you. This video also we will share with you. Okay. So Shiksha is the science of sounds, how something has to be pronounced. Then you have Kalpa, the procedures. I have lot of rituals, I have lot of sounds, lot of things to be done, but how should I do? The how-to manual is the Kalpa. Then comes the important thing called Vyakarana. Vya is, whenever there is a Sanskrit word, Vya means it is Vyapti, huge one. But how can you compile and understand without knowing the meaning of the word? If you know the word and if you know the grammar, you can know the meaning of the word. Like that, in no language in the world we can do. Only in Samskrita we can do. That is called the Vyakarana, is the grammar. So the seventh of the Vidyasthana is grammar. First to four, the four classifications of Veda, then Siksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana. Then Nirukta. What is Nirukta is the etymology. So when I say transport, or whenever I use a word, I can break it and say, oh, trans means movement. Port is porting data also we use the word port only. Shipping also is port only. Are you understanding? No? And if once you understand what this word means and how I can break that word, you can understand English language also. So whenever there is a word trans used, it means movement. You got it, no? Similar thing when they applied to the Samskrita language, you need to understand the science of Nirukta. How these words, what is the origin? Okay. Now we say, no, you are saying in English the word divine. The source is Div. Div is light, which is again Samskrita. Like that, you can go back. We should not fight because those days India as a concept itself was not there. It is coming from this land, that's it. Where people are in pursuit of light. That is why we call Bharata Desha. Bharata, one of the meaning is the land where people are in pursuit of light. That is knowledge. The basic story based is we belong to the country where Bharata ruled. That is one more. But we have to understand from the etymological source. Then you call, when you write a particular sentence, we call it a chandas. So the original Samskrita, mean the original sounds which the rishis captured, it appears we should not even call them Samskrita, we should call them Chandasam. They captured the meter. Poetic, every poem has its meters, right? Like in school, we studied ode. There is one method of poem called ode. Then sonnet. I think sonnet number 116 was there for me in college, Shakespeare's sonnet number 116. Then ode is like a eulogy, like a hymn. So everything has how you have to write that. Then only you can qualify. Jokingly, our teachers will say, no, you can draw, you are free, you feel free to draw camel, but to understand that that is camel, write the name camel above. We may think we have drawn camel. We would have ended up drawing a dog, right? So everything has to be named for us to understand. So every poetry, everything written down has its meter that is called chandas. So when people do the Gayatri mantra to remember, Gayatri, Ushnik, Anushtup, Drishtup, like that. The Chandas names are given every day. You remember that. Remembering that also, it appears as Punya. Recalling and remembering that, recalling and remembering the rishis. Just by remembering, we get Punya. Because we are carrying forward that knowledge to the next generation only by remembrance, repetition, and recalling it. Correct? No? So that is how it is. Then you have astronomy, not astrology the way we are studying it now. This is called Jyotisha. Jyotisha. Jyoti means light. They saw light everywhere, right? Which is what? Not our CFL or LED lights. They are all stars, the planets. And those days they clearly knew that which is not blinking is a planet, that which blinks is a star. Today we are saying that. They knew that. How many of you are aware of that? That which blinks is the star, that which doesn't blink is a planet. Correct? This is all already they have done that job. So by keeping that movement, I remember my grandfather and his elder brother could step out of home, look at the sky and tell the time. I'm very sure some of you may have that skill. Some of you have seen that in your family also. Just one, the cock is making sound at 3 o'clock in the morning, they will not get up. They know what kind of sound is happening at the time of the temperature change in the place where you live will create something that will make a particular sound. They know the difference between the sound for wake up because it has to do the same sound for mating also, right? Let's be practical. Let's be understanding things in a matured way. Every sound is not a wake up call. So that much discernment they had those days. Is it clear? So this Jyotisha is looking at the sky, they could manage time. So I generally tell people, please watch the movie Castaway if you want to understand. When Tom Hanks is left in an island no, after that courier crashes in an island, he lives all alone. Once you see how he tracks time, how he tides, everything, you will understand. I used to have a clip edited long time back. Now I'm not having it. Today you may have it in YouTube. To understand how when someone is devoid of external tools, techniques, and equipments, by being in sync with nature, how you can derive knowledge. In Castaway movie, Tom Hanks, if you see, you can get some idea about how our ancients also, just by being with nature, derived knowledge by just being there. Same thing we do in leadership and coaching. Your mere presence will enable knowledge for you and the others. Correct, no? So we had 4 classifications of yoga and the 6 ones. What are they? Siksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chandas, and Jyotisha. Is it fine? Then comes the applied knowledge starts. Tantra is not classified as part of it, as I told you. That's a later and a parallel thing. So I'm not going to fight which date it started and all that. I'm more concerned about can we derive benefit and honor that knowledge than fighting when it started, whether it started in Germany, started in Sri Lanka. That is left to armchair philosophers. We are going to take benefit from that knowledge system. So we should not worry. Once I asked my teacher, he said, don't worry about the dates, that will keep changing. 12 months in a year came after the West came to know about the way our astronomy, this Jyotisha was there. So their 10-month calendar was upgraded to the 12-month calendar. So what they did, July, Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar. So July and August month you got. These are all not taught in school. After August, what is the month, Rashi?
September.
We know whose birthday comes in September, right? Sapta is September, but today we are celebrating it as the 9th month. Octa is Ashta, 8 October. Nava is 9 November, but we are having it as 11th month. Dasa is December. They couldn't go beyond 10 because we had only 5 plus 5, 10 fingers. They were only counting. Maybe they didn't have Ritik Roshan there. He has 6, 6. No, they would have counted 12. Correct? The person who was in charge of all this had only 10 fingers like normal human beings. Okay. So they were only counting 10. So Augustus Caesar and Julius Caesar were ruling Rome, and this Roman calendar, that Gregorian Pope Gregory reset everything. That's why it's called Gregorian calendar. So from 10 months to 12 months when you go, I wish Indians think what is Sapta, Octa, Nava, and Dasa. This is how it is. So octagon is there. If you septuagenarian like that, they will use. All these are seven only, no? Not a 90-year-old is called like this. 70-year-old is called like this. Am I making sense? So this is how the knowledge spreads across the world. Now the applications main are four. The first is Ayurveda, the science of longevity. That was very much important. Then those days, conquests and wars were constantly happening. Like today also it's happening. Today with weapons it happens, with media also it happens, right? They quietly conquer without our knowledge, without any gunshot. They will kill the culture, many things will happen. All of us are intelligent enough to understand war is not only fought in the battlefield, it is fought here, they will confuse us, all that happens. So they had a separate study called Dhanurveda, archery, warfare, strategy. This is why Dronacharya was recruited. Drona Acharya was recruited by Kripacharya and others because he was so adept in warfare. They wanted to teach the Kuru princes that. That makes sense. First is longevity. So applications of this knowledge for living long. Then they said, after you start living, next you want to expand. No, you will fight. So you need the you need the warfare. You need to learn about the basics of it. Then you have fine arts, Gandharva Veda, the music. The roots are in Sama Veda, but it was into full blown in Gandharva Veda. Then we need places to stay. So Vastu Shastra came from Stapatya Vidya, architecture, cities. See, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro excavations are like how French used to build straight lines, proper cities we are unearthing. Correct? So these are main things for people, no? Medicine, survival ka fighting, and then you had Gandharva Veda, then you have this Stapadya Vidya. Is that okay? These are all derivations from the classifications of Veda. So how much we got? 14? Am I right? These 14 are the main sources of knowledge. Some of the teachers add Arthashastra also in the place of Stapadya Vidya because the statecraft is more important. So some teachers add, and again, like Veda Vyasa, Chanakya already implemented what was there, and because he implemented to T and added his value, his name is mostly connected with Arthashastra. Okay. But that subject of statecraft was already there. So if instead of 18, if you have 19, it's good only, no? So keep that also. Till now it is okay. Now, how to live life, we learned through Dharma Shastra and interactions, logic. So the other four generally are the Purana texts. You have 18 major and 18 minor Puranas, but actually you have innumerable Puranas, out of which Purana means what? Story. Through story, they kept the knowledge alive. Imagine today I start, though I am incapable, if I am delivering this complete lecture in Sanskrita. First, I will not understand. I have to read a script. Okay. So, so we have to scale up first. Wherever we are, we have to start, right? You are getting the point. So Puranas helped us, they helped the common man to start from where they are through the stories. And today we are telling about neural coupling or neurocoupling. So when the knowledge was shared through stories, the listeners connected with the teacher much better. According to me, it is like a Windows teaser. Then once that student buys in, the teacher would go pakad ke ragad अंदर डाल देंगे गुरुकुल में. Then they will be given lot of stronger things like Vedanta, all that stuff. So this is like people do master classes. No, we also do master classes. Tell whatever is there and all that. After they come in, only they know how much work they have to do. It's not a just you go come out with certificate. Those things don't happen, right? But these Puranas are like master classes of the subject. They give you an overview, they give you cosmology, they give you a lot of peep into how to live life, Tantra, all that is derived from this Purana, from the stories. And also, we understand the lineages. So, today we have lineages of where Rama's lineage started, where Krishna's lineage started. Our Puranas are maintaining these genealogy charts also. So, the kings who ruled, all that. Today we are having that, no, chronicling. You're getting the point? So, Puranas served as an extraordinary knowledge system for us to understand our own culture, tradition. They are not just stories. So, I invite some of you who are voracious readers to go through the book by The Greatness of Saturn by Robert Svoboda. He is the first Ayurveda doctor, Westerner to study Ayurveda with government permission in Pune. He had a teacher in India, Agori Vimalananda. So his book, Greatness of Saturn, tells, he said, these stories, these kathas have therapy effect. That is why they did Satyanarayana Vrata, this story reading, all that stuff. It made people to withdraw from their day-to-day worries, stresses, and cares. It had a therapeutic effect. So he wrote a book in English called The Greatness of Saturn. Shani Mahapurana, he has wrote that book. It's an amazing way to look at it. And we have hundreds of literature like that, which we can bring out in English. Okay, so the Purana literature is lot of story-based things which are there. Then Nyaya is required. What is Nyaya is logic, basically logic. Then how Tarka Shastra also was inbuilt in that. After you have knowledge or internalized, you should know how to debate, how to interact with people, to present your point of view. So Nyaya became the important knowledge which we need to acquire before going into public and start sharing, or within us also to understand how logically we can proceed. So the Nyaya Sutras are also there. Okay, there is another side of study which is called the Darshanas, where Nyaya becomes the first Darshana. Okay, Gautama Rishi wrote the sutras for that. Then you have the Mimamsa. Mimamsa here basically, uh, these texts were there, how they can be interpreted so that we can have practical applications. Like they are preparing generic medicine, no? Once the formula is done, it is out in the public, then any company can produce that medicine, right? For example, I'm just giving a very vague example. Unless you have a process manuals to do that and replicate, how you will internalize and ingest the benefit of that medicine like that. This Mimamsa literature, Jaimini was the author of that. Jaimini Sutras are there, or Mimamsa Sutras. How a Vedic mantra, that ritual we can derive for our benefit. That manuals are there. That's a source of huge knowledge, right? Then finally, you have the Dharma Shastras. Our Ramayana, Mahabharata, the Itihasas come there. How to live. Challenges are going to be there even for the divine. So the thumb rule is, if moment you are manifest, there is a challenge. So morning I was saying someone that it's like your college arrears. We are born because there is an arrear. There is a learning which we have not done in our past life. Till we learn, we have to keep attending the class which is called Earth. Okay, we have to keep attending various classrooms, various sessions. You got it, no? So this Dharma Shastra helps us to understand how this cycle of things work. Nothing around is going to change because you are not the only guy in the classroom. There are innumerable creatures in the classroom. And what lesson is needed, the university and college know better, right? So the earth knows better. You will be prepared well to respond to the challenges in life. So, reading of Ramayana and understanding and implementing the concepts in Mahabharata was made mandatory. Whenever you say, no, no, life is ideal, how can families be like that? We studied the life of Rama and his brothers and their respective spouses. Without them, they could not have done what they could have done. And if you read Valmiki Ramayana, the Moolam, you will see the respect what they have towards their spouses, respective spouses. How a mother has to be respected, how a spouse has to be respected, how children have to be. Those days itself, even Lavakusha's time, Lahore and Lucknow, no, Ashu, if I'm right, those portions were given to these children.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lahore is Law
uh,
and Lakshmana is Lucknow.
Lucknow. So, not only grooming them, the proof of pudding is in eating, they were given a territory to rule, and amongst them, who is the best succeeded later. You understood everything was practice based in Indian tradition. We are not theory based tradition. We are a practice first, understand theory later. Because of the modern research, we are trying to understand theory first. This is not possible. We are trying to light a 100-kilometer journey sitting here. Not possible. You undertake the journey, then you cross check with the manual how life is. So, this is in a nutshell about the 18 sources of knowledge. And from this, whatever you see has been derived. And Tantra is like the inner thing, inner work. That was passed down orally. Even today, many of the processes are passed down orally from teacher to student. Then the student who is qualified to become a teacher will share the knowledge. So that system is continuously alive also. So this is in nutshell from the time of Veda Vyasa, these classifications are in vogue for 5,000 plus years. Okay. So what we can do is whichever field of study we are there or field of profession, let us look into this wealth of information, the wisdom given, so that we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Okay, I'll give you two examples before I move into harnessing the power of Guru. Guru for us is not a personality. Guru is something who can take us beyond the personality. If a guru is making you attached to personality, then be careful. What is that need within them they are trying to fulfill? We don't know. Coaches have this question, no? Generally, what is that need which is served by being a guru? We have to make gurus to sit on a coaching conversation and discover. Because the penchant to make people attached to personality is increasing. That is not the way teaching tradition is. So I'll give you one example, then we will move into the next. When we study the autobiographical work of Abhinav Vidyatirtha Mahaswamiji, Yoga, Meditation and Enlightenment, if I am correct, that book, for many years it was sold only for 20 rupees. Nobody knew the value. Okay. We used to study that like a textbook. Now, free download has been given by the Sringeri Mutt. Please study that book with the help of a teacher. Don't do self study of that book. In that one of the chapters, the great one is saying the passing of knowledge from Guru and Shishya is for them, for the great ones, is as simple as one lamp is lighting another lamp. You step back and see you don't know which lamp lit which lamp. That is the innate quality they transferred, the Guru transferred to the Shishya. The Shishya continued to see the Guru as a Guru because of the gratitude, the knowledge transfer happened. But the Guru saw the Shishya also have him only and encouraged to see like that. So the Acharya gives a great example of once a lamp is lit by another lamp, how you will know which lamp lit which lamp. That is the greatness of the ones whom we can call as Guru. Certainly not the ones who are running spiritual business. They are doing their work. They may be ethical, but the real meaning of Guru is that. So let us stop calling people who are teaching mathematics, coaching, leadership as gurus. They are teachers. They can acharana, they can demonstrate. But a guru is a very, very loftier word. We should not drag that word down. Okay. Any observations? Yeah. I will share the book PDF. Anaka would send that PDF to each of you who have registered today. So we will be sharing with you 3 books. One is this book, another is Introduction to Indian Tradition, small volume, and the third one is the Enlightened Living book. So, Anaka, our resource page has these links, right? But for the other book. See, the other book, because you attended today, I am sharing it in public. Don't distribute it like WhatsApp forward. You had some work to do here today, you came. Let people earn it. Everything don't give away. Only to those who are having deeper, crucial, and conversations which are meaningful, with them you share. Not for someone having exalted philosophical talks over a mug of beer. No. This knowledge is not to be shared like that. It's not that casual. The first 2 resources you can share with everybody. That is okay. But this particular book, please keep it with you and share with people who you feel will respect that knowledge for practice, not for debating and boosting their intellectual ego. Be very clear. Okay? Anyone wishes to share before we proceed to understand the idea of Guru from the eyes of Dattatreya? Yeah, Rajesh, you're
Krishna,
unmuted.
I unmuted to ask that you said this book has to be read with one guru. So how do we
No, the reason
word with?
you sit down and give that reverence to that book.
Okay.
Invoke, all of you here have mantra sadhana. Most of you here. Some of
Yeah,
you are yet to be put into it. You take blessings from your biological mother first, if she is alive. Not alive, also mentally take blessings from her. Take blessings from your father. Light the lamp at home. It doesn't matter which gender we are. Lighting lamp is knowledge. Sit quietly, read that book.
yeah.
You will see a
Thank you.
big thing, and the divine will guide. That reverence we need to do, because even in Bhagavad Gita, Swami Madhusudana Saraswati, in the invocation shloka, asks us to think Gita as mother. Ambatvam anusandadami. You approach Gita as if you are approaching mother. Whatever we need at that stage of life, she will give us. The same mother will give porridge to a child and a full meals to a grown up at home. Correct? So, this
Yeah,
book verily treat any knowledge source as a mother. You approach with that reverence, but that connect which you have with your biological mother. You respect and love together, right? That reverence you have and approach it, and don't be in a hurry to share the knowledge with others. You wait for the practice to get fructified. Your presence will issue out as knowledge to others. That is
sure. Thank you.
only thumb rule when we are ingesting traditional wisdom. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other observations? Yeah. Okay. So before we move to the next, Rashi, would you like to unveil that cover? So what we did, I was just Rashi and Anaka have been helping Srimat along with Nova. So whatever you are seeing in the social media, the light is thrown by them. So they deserve that recognition and respect. From December 2023, I am working with Rashi. From last year, I am working with Anaka. Together, we are a team. So the ISBN, which we were struggling for many years for my own simple small book I wrote, Rashi literally went to that Rajaram Mohan Roy library with Chanchal's sister Hivangi. They ensured we got ISBN. And Anaka is the one who did complete documentation in the back end to ensure all these things happened. because everything is a teamwork. Navagrahas are there everywhere. We have 5 fingers. Alone, unless you have reached the state of Advaita Bhava, nothing can be done alone in life. Okay. So today morning, Anaka got the ISBN approved. What we wanted to do is somehow bring that concept of coachness to everybody. And the basic start point, it is priceless. We don't want to make any money out of that. So we have compiled around 10 or 11 articles. Okay. And I requested Sridevi Raghavan and Shanti to write forwards for those 2 sets of articles. What are these? One is how, as a personality, we can bring in that coachness in our conversation with others. The second set of articles says you are going into a conversation with someone, maybe an elder, sometimes spouse also. So, how you can prepare yourself for that conversation? Both are important, right? So from both sides, I requested this ICF PCC certified, very, very good coaches who I am working with personally. And they also underwent our Indic Wisdom program. So they have written the forward. Because of paucity of time, we couldn't put together. Because they both did the work, I thought it is fit that Rashi shows us the glimpse of the cover design, beautiful design she has done. And Anaka would reveal that ISBN, the backside cover. And this booklet will reach each of you within 2 to 3 days. So this is the cover design which Rashi has come up with.
With the lotus flower. Wonderful. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And like a canvas painting, the hues of colors she has chosen.
Yeah. Beautiful combination, Rashi. The lotus is my right there.
Yeah, true. Amazing.
Hashtag coachiness represents
Yeah.
the latest technology or the,
Uh,
appeals to this Gen Z or the next ones.
yeah,
Everything is hashtag, right?
hashtag. So what we did is we have formally applied for that hashtag
Mm,
coachness because our mission is to make this word as popular as kindness.
mm,
At some point in
very nice.
hope, it will become as popular as kindness. So we formally applied for using this word this way. Anaka, could you reveal the backside cover and the ISBN, all that stuff? So what we have done is only one book we are actually selling, which I wrote when I was Rashi's age, 26, sometime 20, 25 years back. The other books are all free downloads. So what Anaka has done, there is a QR code in the backside of the book. Whatever booklets I was telling you we are going to share with you is all available as a free download there. And we got an ISBN because we want us and the world to understand we are very serious with this. So this ISBN we have got in any library, anywhere they can get that book. There's no price for this book. And this QR code, she has directed it to the indicwisdom.org/books, where if we are going to in future sell one book, there will be 10 free downloads. 10:1 ratio is what we want to maintain. So thanks to Rashi and Anaka.
Wonderful.
Okay. And second
you.
thing is, I was wondering, I was unable to stop receiving forwards. And I was receiving so many good quotes. So then one day when I was contemplating, how can I make this, own this quote? So that this dialogue started with taking a quote and studying, using this quote, how I can prepare myself as a coach. Using this quotable quote, how I can prepare myself as a coachee. Because when I was doing the coach education, we informally floated International Coaching Federation also. So that we have to be qualified, right? To be coached also. I felt why only coaches need qualification. The clients also need to be educated enough to coach, get coached better, right? So that is the basic thought process. And now we will move into how Dattatreya figured out Guru is everywhere. Is that interesting? And we will also get, I'm going to give you a brief into that, and I'm going to put you all in breakout rooms to discover the list of 24. Okay. As I told, lecture bazi nahi chalega Indian tradition mein. You have to do practice. Otherwise, this will vanish from your memory. And Buddha's first sermon started today. In Mahavira Jain tradition also, it's very important today. Okay. So traditionally, it appears it is the day where you can consciously pursue self-elimination. So that is actually self-care and self-love is not ordering something from Swiggy or ordering something from Amazon. Don't get tricked into that in the name of self-love and self-care. The original self-love and self-care is, are you able to take one step towards self-elimination, which is realization? For that, this day is a very, very important day. Okay. So can we move into Dattatreya's journey? So the first 7 is standard for all of us. The rest 17, I wish you discover. When you come back from the breakout room, I will reveal what are the 17 other things which Dattatreya saw as Guru. So the story is that Dattatreya is actually an embodiment of the creator, the one who sustained, which is Vishnu, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, who were born as a child to Anusuya Mata and Atri Rishi. That is why Dattatreya. Atri Rishi Gotra is Atreya Gotra. Okay. This temple is, this place is still there in the south of India, and it appears that tree is still maintained. Danumalaya Swami temple, it is there in Susindram. In between Naharkovil to Kanyakumari, this temple is there. There, they are, when you enter the temple, the left side, an old tree they are maintaining. Like you have a 3,500-year-old mango tree maintained scientifically in Kanchipuram. I took a lot of our students to show, verified scientifically that tree is 3,500 years old. They have kept a board there. Government has done the research. Like that, when you enter this Danumalaya Swami temple, the left side of the temple, that particular tree that is still maintained, and that you can see Atri Rishi, the Dattatreya's statue, all that's all worshipped there. It appears that the Trinity came to test the chastity or chasticity. What is that? How to pronounce? English knowing people. The chasteness of Mother Anusuya. Is she a pativrata like that? Imagine great ones also have test. We don't know why that was. So see the intelligence. That is why I am saying we learn from the mothers. She did a simple thing. Don't want to tell the long story. She converted all these trinities into small babies and fed them milk from her own breast. That is the intelligence. The situation is there before you. Without panicking, she converted the Trinity as children and made her own. So their lust is absent, right? In a proper mother-child relationship. So that is the buddhi of mother. And he is born to, Dattatreya is born to such a great saint and the mother. So Ayurveda says, we have Dr. Sangeeta here, our mind is from our mother, buddhi is from the father. Okay, so that fertile mind, how Dattatreya's mother found to resolve her situation when Trinity approached, you can see that in full bloom in Dattatreya. He figured out, oh, there are 24 types of gurus, the same mind, a fertile mind. He inherited from his mother. The first 5 are nature's elements: earth, wind, sky, space, water, and fire. The Panchabhutas, without which this prapancha, what is prapancha? That which has come out of these 5 elements. Pancha is 5. So these 5 elements, he saw them as his first gurus, which nobody can deny. Without that, we are not there. See the next 2, moon and sun. Nobody can say they are not there. These are the first 7 gurus which Dattatreya derived the knowledge from. Okay, so we will share that input later. Then he found 17 more gurus like this in his journey. And these 24 Gurus of Dattatreya, we generally have this session on Datta Jayanti. But to drive home the concept of Guru Tattva, that we go in search of an external Guru only to understand that which is inside, till we realize that inside you need a support from the outside. And connect this with the lighting of the lamp example.
Krishna, I lost your voice.
Okay, from where did you lose? From
Till
which
we
place?
realize.
Last minute or so.
Which was the last sentence?
You mentioned about the Guru Tattva,
Huh.
the 17 other gurus
Yeah.
he figured out.
Yes. So now, how are we going to connect it? Like how he could see Guru in 24 aspects of nature. Connect this with the incident given in Abhinav Vidyatirtha Swamiji's book, which we are going to share. Till when you need this seeking outside is till when you cannot be distinguished from your Guru. Like the two lamps are there. Then the inner journey starts. Till that time, you need an external source to prod you to go in to handle with life's uncertainties and vagaries. Does that make sense? So the prapancha is coming out of these five elements. So the nature's five elements were his gurus, followed by moon and the sun. Is it okay? So now what we can do is take 5 more minutes and start listing anything. It could be a movie song, it could be a billboard, it could be a book. What are the profound learnings you got from? Try to list 17 sources. Try to list, but start the journey today. So till 8:10, let us do this exercise. Later, I'll put you into the breakout rooms. Okay. I'm not pausing the recording. In case somebody is seeing it, no, they'll also get this 5 minutes. Great. So balance, you can keep working on the other 17, and you will have this 24 gurus with you always. Please remember that. Meaning 24 sources of knowledge, or 24 sources which will remind you of the right knowledge. And whatever you are facing, you try to derive the knowledge which takes you closer to who you are. Is that okay? And the content we will share with you, the idea is that each of us can derive knowledge from wherever we are with whatever is available around us. That is actually open, curious to learn. That's a learner's mindset. It need not come only from reading a book right now. Already you yourself is a walking repository of your own life's experiences and knowledge. Think back. This was same like Hanuman Chalisa. All that he was capable of, all that he has done, came out to remind his own strength. So we have to utilize Guru Poornima as a parva to restart and reconnect with our source, because that is an eternal source. This 24 you can explore to 240 also, you will still find learning sources outside of us. And at this time, I generally remind myself of what is said in Gita is the unfavorable circumstances or the most favorable circumstances for inner growth. I think that is one of Lydia's favorite also. So that circumstance could also be a teacher. It need not be an object. So generally how we do that is a situation, a person, and a thing. That thing could be a mobile phone. It could be a book. It could be a thing or a situation or a person. I'm just giving you a hint if you're struggling to list 17 more people. But some of you may have 17 human beings also, 17 situations also. So keep expanding this, telling yourself at any time you can tap Dattatreya's knowledge to have access to the 24 gurus and what he learned from them. But from the same source, what he learned from Sun, you are free to learn what you wish to learn, right? That is why ours is an eternal dharma, Sanatana dharma. It is a spiritual path. We will not insist this is the only learning you should have from Sun because it is mentioned. So subtle nuances are there. Okay. So Earth, what did I learn from Earth? What did I learn from water? What did I learn from space? What did I learn from fire? You write your own learnings from Panchabhutas, because this is same for all of us. Our body is made up of these five. And the mind and intellect externally is represented as the moon and sun. In our family, it's represented like mother and father. So this Panchabhutas and the mother and father, that external thing is internally in us. The body is made up of Panchabhutas. Our biological mother and father are the moon and sun. Simple. So these seven are there with all of us. We cannot deny. The other 17, you feel free to have your own list. And even in this seven, the lesson which you wish to derive is unique to you. If you want, you cross reference. There are enough sources, but we will share with you a resource. So go through that process. Is it okay? Any observations? Now, one more last shloka which I wish to share, and then we will open the floor for each of your observations. In tradition, we study about the five entities which are in charge of the functioning of the entire cosmos. Generally, we see only Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. This Trinity is what we always speak about and know about. The fourth one is called the veil, the Maya, which makes us think if I earn 1 crore, I will retire tomorrow. If I write 5 books, I'll become best-selling. That ifs and buts are pushing our life. Again, it's not a right or wrong. So question your ifs and buts because that is veiling you from the real thing which is waiting for you. That is coming in between of you and contentment. Don't feel bad or good about it. That is the way life is. Then only life will function. The goals, aspirations, and ambitions come there. So, what we are asked to do first is align it as per Dharma. It's okay. You want to become rich, please become rich, but try to align it as per Dharma. So, like that, think of Mother Maya. So, my teacher gave a simple formula. If she is pulling you too much, just surrender. Do a namaskara to her. Finished. You can't fight against Mother Maya. You just surrender. Mother, enough test. I am not able to take this push and pulls of senses. Surrender. Then the fifth one is called Kripa, grace. That repository is Sada Shiva. Sada Shiva means ever auspicious. Sada means ever. Shiva means auspicious. So that which is Sada Shiva has only manifested as your teacher today. So the shloka which is said in the tradition is Sada Shiva Samarambham. That's a starting. Shankaracharya Madhyamam. Asmad Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So today, remember all your teachers, right from your kindergarten to your school, consciously who played the role of a teacher. A friend also can play a role of a teacher. That is different. Somebody taught you your ABCD, your poetry, your dance, your yoga, many things. They're all called acharyas, no? They may not be gurus. But a guru sometimes can be an acharya also, rare cases. So what our tradition tells, live mirroring your life based on acharya because the teaching they are doing the acharana, that is why you call them acharya. But just listen to what the guru says and do because you cannot understand their acharana. You cannot understand the way they live. That is one more differentiation between a guru and acharya. Okay, they can sit in a dustbin and talk with you, but generally, someone who is only an acharya cannot do that. So some of you have come with me to Tiruvannamalai. I have shown some teachers there would walk naked. They are great gurus. They will appear as lunatic to us, but generally we are lunatics, if you see. So to understand a guru is difficult. So with guru, you are there, receive from them the knowledge and do what is required. But from an acharya, you can mirror their living. That's why they are called acharya. Okay. So remember all that whoever is there in your life, thank them. And remember, whether you like or you not like, you are an acharya. People are mirroring you. People are not listening to you, but people are seeing you. People are looking up to you as a role model. So that responsibility, please take. Try and become a better role model. That is one thing you can do. And second thing you can do is whatever knowledge in your family which is past, please be a teacher and exhibit that in Acharya-ness to your next generation. That is how you pass that knowledge. Third, when you are studying a particular subject, the moment you get from the teacher that you are now qualified to share, wait till that time and then go and share. Don't be in a hurry to share the next day after you got a certification. Certification is a paper, it is not an embodiment. The practice makes you embody that knowledge which you got in certification. So in our Yoganidra course, we tell our people, unless your one resolve comes true in life, please refrain from teaching Yoga Nidra level 4. Level 1, level 2, level 3, scientifically you can teach them. Parasympathetic nervous system, this, that, all that brain. But a desire coming true in life is your personal experience. Then you get qualification to teach Yoga Nidra level 4 and upwards. Are you seeing the difference? So that responsibility also you can undertake. And remember, Guru is not a personality. Guru is the reality with whom we are connected with the help of a personality. Because we are used to outward drishti. Correct? Our drishti is outward. You need a manifested person or something manifested to guide you to the unmanifest. So Guru is basically a tattva, the principle, which is only grace. So what my teacher once said, that it is a divine mother who is running the cosmos, herself comes in the form of a guru or a teacher with whom you can relate. That's only because of grace, not by our effort. By our effort, what we will do, we'll get blocked at the intellectual level. You are understanding, no? We'll dissect whether this guy has done a PhD in yoga, as if PhD in yoga has got samadhi. Nobody has got samadhi. If you are into samadhi, you will not get into college and school. Okay. So all these certifications are all okay. I have got a master's in yoga. Ashutosh has got a master's in yoga. We both are sure we have not experienced samadhi. But academically, they told you are masters in yoga and all that stuff. So don't take the certifications and the book knowledge and theoretical knowledge so seriously. Use that as a platform to move to practice and realization. So take these simple 4-5 vows on this auspicious day of Guru Poornima. Is it okay? So now the floor is open to each of you and we will close sharp at 8:30. No one wants to talk, no problem, okay? No force. What to say?
Namaste, everyone. Yeah,
Yeah, Usha.
Usha here. Yes. So thank you so much for giving this session today. It's very powerful and giving a lot of insights for me. And everything is every minute and everything is I'm getting some inputs for my teaching, for my learnings always, and which you pointed out to make a list. I got maybe more than 25. I got a list, and definitely books, teachers, people, parents, family, and the people whom we meet, pets, nature, and dreams, science and symbolic language, symbols, and inner voice.
Hmm.
So all these things I just got today. Be like that, I have written all these things. So thank you so much for making this happen. Thank you for this one trigger question. I could learn something today new. Thank you.
Thanks to Zoom for making this possible. Yeah, Shweta, the entire team at Zoom, we need to thank them.
I want to say almost the same things that Usha just said, but I wanted to include one element, tattva, time. The things that I have learned, or rather, time has taught me, are invaluable.
Super. Lydia knows she has no option. I will somehow go and ask her.
Thank you, my Krishna. Thank you. I every time I have connection with you in talks like that, it only keeps. I almost shouldn't say I miss you and I miss these times that I can be, in your presence, but I do. So I am very thankful that I know actually all this time. It reminds me one sentence that the real teacher will always point toward you, like his only goal is to bring you to you. So that self-realization is the only goal and he will always guide you. This is how you can recognize real teacher. And I feel very blessed that I at least know the role model, and I feel blessed that you came to my life and to change that perspective that when you start this journey, there is that something is walking inside you that everything becomes your teacher. So how you said about the circumstances and listening to someone else when they are speaking, and when you're curious and when you want to learn life, when you want to receive these teachings and these lessons, you stay with this curiosity and with that self-growth. And I always, as a broken record, say of God's grace, that it is the God grace that you come to this surrender, that you want to so badly, you want to learn you from every situation, from every person, from nature, from inner voice, from silence. I feel very blessed to be on that path, and thanks to you, and thank you for role modeling of who a humble teacher is. Thank you.
Yeah, it is okay. Don't tell anything about me. Like, it's all our teachers and parents have done this. That is the truth. The day we realize this truth, it's like I keep telling, you may have the costliest speaker in the world, like a Bose is a good speaker. Still, Bose speaker cannot produce music. So the best teachers are also like a speaker only. The knowledge source is completely different. So grateful that you continue to support, and all the best for your new venture on listening. So Jack and Lydia, along with Linda, they want to listen out to people. Many people feel there is no one to listen to them. So they have done a fantastic initiative, and congrats to the entire team. Great.
Thank you. And may I add,
Yeah,
to me,
please.
what you've said at the end, like I heard it clearly at the end. It's like what Lydia just shared as well. That a guru is the reality, and then everything, like you said, everything becomes the reminder and the teacher, the teaching, and
Amazing.
this is so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jack.
I just want to express my gratitude, Krishna ji, for bringing this awareness on the auspicious occasion of Guru Poornima. Today, I think probably the first time I took time out to list down all the people and situations and the things around me that have taught me valuable lessons, and to acknowledge them and give them that respect. I think I have never done that. So thank you for, enabling and showing the path, and I will be definitely more aware as I'm going forward. And so I just wanted to express my gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you. We have another teacher here already. Chanchal is there. So let's listen from Chanchal.
I really don't have words. It's a beautiful session, such a beautiful reminder of just remembering all the gurus who taught us so much. And thank you. Thank you for this space. Thank you for this connect. Thank you for this reminder.
Thank you. Ashutosh, who literally brought that yoga can be taken from wherever you are in Bangalore city. He revolutionized 20 years back when people used call centers to book credit cards. He made one of his students who was running a call center to tell, let people call when when they need yoga. I will go to their place and teach. So he has quietly done it without taking that credit. Nobody even knows that he used that methodology more than 15 years back, no Ashu, when it was so even difficult to conceive. And he is running his organization Explore Yoga, which is moving towards a decade. And thanks for your presence, Ashu. Whenever we do the advanced teacher training programs, he is our teacher, and grateful for your presence today.
Thank you. I'm grateful for this wonderful day today I'm attending. And as you said, the grace, so it is the grace day for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are married to a great teacher. I know her. So His wife is our co-founder, Hema. She by birth is a good teacher. Yeah. Any of you would like to share? Yeah.
I
Krishna, sorry.
Go ahead.
So Krishna, I want to express my gratitude. This last 1 hour, still I'm sinking in. If you ask me what you really take out, it's still sinking in. But the powers that you mentioned, that the lamp lighting and the lamp, and you can't even see the difference. I think that's a very powerful way to observe between the Guru and Shikshas. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for our Acharya who gave that example. Yeah, Anjali?
I I also just wanted to say thanks. Don't have words. It's my first interaction with you and the whole group. I'm happy that I could attend this one. My Indic wisdom, if you'll ask me, is almost zero. I don't know about Vedas. I don't know about anything, but still, I could relate to a lot of deep thoughts and specific example as like the one that you shared, the guru, what guru brings in your life and how guru brings that change in your life. That guru and the sishya becomes one. So I think that's really a powerful example, and there are so many other deep thoughts that I'm taking away from the session today. So thank you. And good to meet Chanchal after a long time on this.
And
We're
thanks.
together in WNS.
I was thinking, I don't know if Anjali remembers me or not. I was
I
going to
do,
ask.
I do, I do.
So Krishna ji, Anjali and I, we worked at WNS, which is a company based out of Gurgaon, almost
Yeah.
like what, 15 years back or 18 years back. It was
Yeah, long
2007.
ago. Yes.
Yeah, it was my second company. So thank you. Good to see you, Anjali.
Same here.
They call it a butterfly effect, no? So that butterfly effect was given by Venki here.
Hmm,
Venki started off a big thing, and because
hmm.
of his presence and his way of looking at things, Anjali is here today.
I actually didn't recognize this is our Anjali. I was just now wondering.
Oh, I
Sorry,
didn't see
Anjali.
you, Venki. Yes. Hi.
Didn't realize. Good to see
Yeah.
you. Good to see you. Yeah.
And Anjali, I would just like to say something. Nobody knows Vedas. If you think I know anything other than
Mm,
the words which I used, I have no idea about what it is. That is itself knowledge.
mm,
When you know that you don't know, that is a knowledge. What is no meaning of Veda is knowledge. So it is not to be confined to books. And
mm,
you know when to ask for help, when to help. That is knowledge. So all of us are walking because what is in the microcosm is only in the macrocosm. So when we are quiet, what we need to get downloaded. That's it. That quietness is what the entire life is all about. Okay.
absolutely.
I'm requesting you not to use the word. And I have just kept the name integrism. Do you think to write that spelling, no
Mm.
human being is qualified? Last like that,
Yeah.
the name happened, we got it. It's divine grace. That's it. Okay. So thanks to each of you for your presence. Because of you, this happened.
Yep.
At 6:55 also, we were wondering whether this meeting will happen because Jot form Zoom. Then whatever, whoever has to be there, they will be there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you. Good
Thank you.
night. Take care.
Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.